Hello, everybody.
Welcome, welcome.
Good evening.
Hello, hello.
And welcome to, I don't know, we got a working title. So right now it's the Lovestream,
Is there anybody out there?
where we talk about things, all things love and spirituality. It's free. I do have a link there if you'd like to donate or contribute to our work. We appreciate it, but you don't have to.
That's right.
If you'd like to leave stars for me or gifts on Facebook,
Everything
I won't
is
be mad at you,
appreciated. That's
but
right.
you don't have to.
Mhm.
Got Michelle Two Saints. Hello.
Hello, Michelle.
So tonight we're going to talk about twin flames, soulmates, the terminology of twin flames, soulmates, kindred spirits, and so on.
Mhm.
What else? Am I missing one? Am I missing a term?
Well, probably, but in other words, we're here to kind of break down the labels, help you to understand, and hopefully not trap yourself in any one ideology.
Yeah. So twin flames, that one I think that one gets to me the most because I think it's put so many people in like this psychosis in this
Right.
relationships or not even relationships. Like one person,
That idea of
girl
a
or guy likes
relationship.
the other girl or guy, and then they get into this well, we're twin flames, so we just we'll be together eventually. And it's not healthy to do that
Yeah.
because you're putting that on somebody else. And a lot of the times that's what happens. Like they'll be, it really puts some people in this position or this paradigm of, well, this person, they may not want me right now, but we are twin flames, so we'll eventually be together. And it's not a healthy thing to do, like I said.
Right.
Welcome everybody.
Yes.
We're
Welcome,
doing
welcome,
this
welcome.
live. Maybe we'll do it recorded someday, but maybe we'll get some guests on here.
Yeah.
And we are going to share the stream information. So if you want to jump on and you want to have a conversation or express something, you're experiencing or have experienced, or the experience you have,
Right.
if you want to get on and talk and discuss it, it's all open forum here. So we're throughout the podcast, and this is being recorded, or it's going to be going on both Facebook, yeah, YouTube, and then we're going to be posting it as a podcast as well on Spotify, and then all the other podcasting places.
Right.
So we got a donation. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, thank you.
From Michelle Renee, Michelle Two
Oh,
Saints. Thank you,
thank you,
Michelle.
Michelle. You rock.
Or Michelle DeSantos. So yeah, we're kind of just taking it easy,
Right.
having a cocktail,
Yeah.
and talking about it because this is something that comes in my work. This comes up a lot.
It does.
The twin souls, or where's my soulmate? And I think twin flames. I don't know where the hell that came from, but I think
do.
right? Go
I
ahead.
did some research. I don't have it off like all the actual factual details, but it's roundabout. A couple had gotten together. They were both from different marriages. They had raised their children, whatever. However, I don't know if they lost their spouse through death or through divorce or whatever. However, they'd come together older in life and started on their spiritual journey together and named that Twin Souls. So I don't know if it's because they had both lived another life before that. They lived twinly, or like how they came up with it.
Lived as twins.
But that's
this how they felt.
Yes, this is where that
And
terminology
so
came
now
from.
it's something created.
Right.
And then, people, of course, took it and ran with it. I mean, did you guys ever hear of twin flames? Like, okay, so I'm 47 years old. Did you ever hear of twin flames when you were kids or when you were younger? This seems to be a new term. When did this happen? You're not sure?
I believe it's the 80s, but I am
the 80s.
On 100% on that. But I believe it was in the 80s.
Hello, Angela. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Claire. Soulmate, and that's the whole thing. We get stuck in this place. Like, you think about it more as in, now, kindred spirits. That's something that's been around, and I'm not saying because it's something that's been around for a lot longer than twin flames that it's
any more valid.
But it is
But
because
yes.
kindred spirits are more like
This person is a lot like me. They're very similar.
yes, like I feel a connection to this person.
Mhm.
I have memory of this person, of familiarity, which you do because you know we are souls that keep on reincarnating.
Okay, so let's see. Jeff, the fiance. Are we soulmates? Twin flames? Married when? Does he love me? Okay, so yes, the love is very much equal between the two of you. You may show it differently. I don't know that you need to put a label on it. I do think you have had lives with this gentleman before, Jeff. But I feel like if you fall into those labels, if you put too much expectation on what that relationship is and what it is supposed to be, you're going to run into these heartbreaks. You're going to run into these disappointments. You're going to run into these roadblocks.
Yeah.
Right? With these labels or with these labels, even if it's a factual label, right? It can come an expectation. So it's really the way we view, the way we perceive, the way we expect a certain something to happen, right? Like my husband, if he's my husband, then that means that this, that, 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 that. And as humans, we just already have what's kind of built in, right?
Yeah.
But understanding truly what is your expectation and what is that just fondness, that love, that building respect, right? That's the keys truly in relationships. Having any kind of, I mean, we should always honor ourselves and respect ourselves, have enough respect for ourselves to not deal with certain, you know what I mean? Like, but understanding that with certain labels, like he went from someone I was seeing to my boyfriend, even just with those little labels right there, right? How did your expectations change? You expected something different from the new label, did you not? Right? When really it was just the natural progression of the relationship.
Yeah, and that's it. Because I mean, I talk to so many people that really like, oh, well, I'm you know, I've seen things that, you know, I feel like I need to, we're going to have a baby or we're going to have a house and white picket fence. I see this in the future, and this is that expectation is a killer, yes. And I think that's what twin flames. It's a relationship killer. The twin flame thing is definitely a relationship killer. Yes. Soulmate, even. I mean, soulmates. A lot of the times in my experience and the readings I've done, soulmates are usually there's one here and there's one on the higher level to help. Sometimes they both come down. Sometimes they both get together. But let's not look at it as soulmates. Let's look at it as companionship and somebody that we fall in love with. Let's make things a little bit more of a surprise, or let things become more of a surprise, and see where it goes, instead of like when we meet somebody, especially when we first meet somebody, um, our head comes up with all these expectations or all these different scenarios that could be happening, especially if we got that oxytocin going, right? That love drug. It's going to put us in this kind of place that where we're really excited. We're, you know, our blood's pumping. We're pupils are dilating. You know, when it's that real connection or that kind of connection, I'm sure everybody's felt. You know, when you feel that like weak in the knees kind of feeling, that puppy love or that infatuation, that's where we need to be careful. We need to be, and it's not easy, right? But we need to be able to let it grow on its own, and give that other person an ability to grow it too, not putting, because if you tell somebody, a lot of the times when you first meet somebody, and say you've been dating a month, and you tell them, hey, I feel like this is the best thing, you know, I feel like I can see us together, and we're going to be here. I see us here. It's either going to freak that person out, or that person is going to feel that pressure. They might jump in and say, you know what, I see that too. I totally do. I feel that vibe, because you're vibing at that time, right? And then a lot of the times one or the other will get freaked out and then totally ghost you. And that happens so much.
And as far as we're basically, it's an advice show tonight. I mean, we are
Yeah,
open
let me
to
send
accepting
the
donations,
hold on, let me
whatever,
send
but-
I'm gonna send the link in the chat.
Yep. And you guys are welcome to
And
chime
then
in with your
where do I
opinions.
find that?
Um,
I gotta go. Hold on. Comments. It's somewhere around here. I'm gonna try to send the link in the chat
yeah, we're
to the
testing.
studio. So if you want to come live and talk about things, yeah.
Yep.
Is it broadcast info? No. Settings.
But yes, we will be answering questions or
I don't know
like,
if
you
I can
know,
do that from here.
etc.
You
But
might have to jump in and do it. You don't have a link.
I don't have a link.
How do I share? I know I can share this somehow. I can't. Hold on. Anyway, I see a lot of people are wanting interaction, and yeah, we'll read some. We need that link though. I can't remember where to share that link.
Is it the 3 stars up here, baby?
No, that's not it. It's inside.
If you do the share button, do you collect that and then put it in the comments?
Post comment, layout, private chat.
Yes. See, so go up here
Settings.
and copy the
link. I know, but that's
on
not
the share button.
Oh, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. Copy it.
Link.
You might be right, babe. Hold on.
And now
let me see.
Chat. You can post comment.
Post comment, which is where?
It was in the more.
Okay.
Post
I
comment.
hope you're right. This would be awesome if it works like this.
Paste. Boom.
Yeah,
just like
I think that is right. Okay, so we're posting the chat right now. So anybody just wants to jump in and talk for a minute, or if you have a question, this will take you to the studio. See what I posted? Let me pin the comment. I don't know if I can.
No.
I can star it.
Yep, you start it. There you go.
And you can watch probably and pin it from you're gonna have to go to YouTube and to Facebook and to your page. So my page, your page, and Facebook.
It's pinned.
Oh, it's pinned. Facebook. Okay, so it must have been Kathy pinned it for us. Nice.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't see it, Heidi. I didn't see your question. Hold on a second. Let's scroll up. I'm new here. Can you tell me, is me and Justin soulmates, or why did he come into my life? What's the reason? He is my boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, and says we have to be together because we are bound. Okay, that's
kind of that twin flame thing, right? It's that label. It's saying, you and I have a contract, and you haven't fulfilled. He's projecting
putting
something
that on
you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, he can handle those feelings on his own if you're not interested, right? If it's something that, you know what, I do actually still feel this deep connection with him, but here's the whole thing. If he's going to come to you and say, hey, we're bound, so guess what? That kind of indicates something in me that he's a bit of a controlling nature, right? He's willing to put that on you and make you deal with it, whether you want to or not.
And that's insecurity too. Like he feels like he can't let you be free, and you don't want to be with anybody that wants to control you all the time.
Right.
All right, we've got Angela is here, and she wants to jump on, so we're gonna let her come in. Let's see, add to stream. All right, hello, Angela.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, doing well. So what's going on? What made you want to come on the stream?
Yeah, nothing different really. Just what would love to know if you in regards to love, or if you see anything I don't know, new man entering my life, or
Okay. I feel like right away putting yourself out there is something you want to do. So letting yourself interact with people, and you're gonna have a lot of you're gonna meet some people you don't really vibe with. So it's important that you put yourself out there and find companionship. But think about dating or dating sites, or putting yourself in a place where there are a lot of the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever it is for you. That you can actually give yourself a chance to meet somebody, because sitting in your home or keeping yourself isolated is not going to do it for you. They're not going to come ringing at your doorbell. Sometimes maybe, but that's usually not how it happens.
True.
But getting yourself, go ahead.
Yeah, just with the dating sites. I'm not much on for dating sites. So I don't know. I have but I suppose getting out there socially probably needs to be the
There you go.
So if you want to meet people, you have to meet them halfway. You can't just sit back and hopefully they're going to show up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, sure.
But I feel like you're gonna find a few people here in the next.
If you're willing to put yourself out there, though. If not, you're gonna
Right.
you're gonna continue to struggle meeting people. Now, do you live in like a kind of a remote area, or are you in the city?
Yeah, suburb, but I mean, it's
Suburb.
not remote.
And where do you go when you're like what are your methods of meeting people?
Well, I don't really go anywhere. Really, it's just work at the moment. Work home. Yeah,
Okay, then. So maybe at work you might meet somebody, but like I
yeah,
said, you asked when you're going to meet somebody, or you wanted to know when, what's on the horizon. This is something you have to seek, and I don't mean chase.
Right.
I mean seek. Like you have to put yourself in that space of other people, meeting other people, and that might be some anxiety for you. Might be give you a little anxiety,
Maybe
but that's like I would say create a good profile on a dating site. Just start small.
yeah,
Put a couple of pictures on there, your best pictures,
yeah,
not fake pictures, and then just put your bio, what you enjoy, what you like. Matter of fact, put it down like a goal list. This is what I'm looking for.
Right.
And see what comes up.
And then I also kind of think maybe adding a little something to your day. So maybe on the way home, stop for a cup of coffee, or get yourself out there where they are. Right.
yeah. I suppose it's Look, I was in a long-term relationship, and we had very similar friends, and now it's even just making I suppose a new group, a new circle of friends as well. Like it's yeah. Okay.
So what do you think? How do you think you like, if you had any methods, which you don't really right now, how do you think you would meet somebody new, or actually meet somebody of substance and somebody that you connect with? How would you do that?
Going out socially, like whether it's
Yes.
or that type of thing. But I suppose my group of friends are all sort of we're all at that older age, or and they've got this settled and home. You know what I mean? Like it's sort of
Well, then it's time to start meeting, and so you have to. Okay, maybe you want friends to be with you, right? To feel more comfortable before you meet a man.
Yeah.
So that's why you still need to get yourself out, so you can meet people that are of like mind, that are on the same wavelength.
Which is why I said, like, even if it's just stopping at the bookstore or just whatever it is that makes you feel better, adding that little bit in between work and home, right?
Yeah.
Go to the park. Whatever makes you
go to
feel
a place
good.
where guys, I mean, really go to the bowling alley, go to a sports bar, go to places where you're going to meet men. I know that's stereotypical, but really, where are you going to be around more men?
Right.
Yeah.
And get feel at ease, right?
Yeah. No, I get you. I suppose it's being confident as well. I suppose being, long-term relationship with someone, it's that confidence booster as well for me. Like,
Well, and confidence comes from practice. So the more you do it, the more confident you'll be.
That's right.
Yeah.
The more comfortable you'll be in that kind of setting. So.
Yeah.
All right, Angela. Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
You.
We've got another somebody else wanting to come on as well. So.
No worries. All good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You have a great night, and hopefully you stick around and listen to the rest of the show. Thank you for coming on. You're our first guest.
No problem. Thanks.
Okay, we have another guest. We know this guest.
Hello, everyone.
.RIT.
Mary.
I know, but I'm giving it to
Mary T. Van Ren. Mary's fine. Mario's. Let's go with Mario's. Next time I'm
Mario's.
Yeah.
All right.
So thank you for having me on. I was so happy to get out of a reading before this and saw you guys on live, and I was like, yes, I'm not missing you guys, because I miss you guys so much. And our path hasn't crossed lately, but when it does, I'm just so happy to like catch you guys on and like support you and love you.
We love you.
I believe you are one of the first catalysts, my soul family that I found on Facebook. Because we've known each other for years now.
Many years
Yeah,
now.
we have.
Yeah, many years now, and I love you guys so much, and you guys have done so much for me, and I know you guys keep me in your prayers because I can feel the love when you know that I'm not well because I was dealing with bipolar mental health and issues, but I'm doing a lot better. You know what? I finally made a decision after 13.5 years of medication, Western medication. I was like, no more. It's what made me sick because I'm a holistic kind of person, you know.
Right.
So when I was like, I'm going cold turkey. But I have the support of my doctors and my case managers and stuff. So I was like, I can't do it like this anymore. It's what the only thing that is natural. Like when I'm sad, I'm sad. I'm depressed, I'm just depressed. I live it, you know.
Yeah.
And then when I'm not depressed, I just cry and let it go. But it comes to mania. But then the medication makes it worse and keeps me there. And I still get manic when I'm on medication. So like, no. I know all the skills. I've learned all the skills. I've all the hospitals. I learned everything that needs to be holistically, how to heal myself, body, mind, spirit, soul. I'm going to do it this year coming out. I'm starting today, tomorrow, right now, this moment.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, let's talk about the love and relationship stuff because like I now I call him right now, like literally my true love, heart desire, twin flame soulmate.
Right.
Yeah. Because when we first met, we met on a Clover app. So that's a really good app for anyone who wants to try a dating app. Clover app works really well for me, for us, because that's where I met mine. And literally, I put him to hell and back with my mental illness and my sickness and my traumas. But because of him, at first, he did ignite something in me. My insecurities and everything, all the negatives that I felt, all the things that weren't great about myself or that I didn't feel great about myself, he mirrored it back to me, but not in the way that he was mean or anything, but it was his love and kindness, you know, his unconditional love, and with patience. Patience is key. Patience is everything. So patience and not giving up on each other. You are meant to be, and as long as you want to be each other's twin flame and soulmate, is that you never give up on each other.
The whole thing. Yeah, that's the whole thing you're saying right there.
Yes.
Okay, there's a difference. Like if you want to call each other twin flames, you've been together a long time, you're both on the same page. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with calling yourselves. Knowing that you're like one soul has reunited with another. That's what it comes down to. When your souls match and sometimes your souls match, but you've never met that person before.
Yeah, but I met him before too, because I remember in the beginning of our relationship, I was like, you were a king and you had a lot of attentions from girls and ladies, and you had other queens and whatever, and you broke my heart. And I remember I killed myself. I had suicide a lot from broken hearts and you know, and all that stuff. But also I hurt him too. But then I remember bits and pieces of like our relationships and other lifetimes and stuff. And I tell him a little bit about it, and it's not like he freaked out. He's just like, he listened, you know, whether he truly understood. He's a Pisces, I'm a Gemini. The signs and
he
stuff.
Accepted it.
You know? See there. Yeah, you guys are like on the opposite spectrum. Yep.
And also, honestly, whoever you want to be, whoever your soulmate, your true love, your heart's desire is whoever never gives up on you and you never give up on them. That is what true love is. At the end of the day, that is what real love is. And you know, and anyone could be your true love though. Anyone could be your twin flame. It's just if they're the one that never walks, they can walk away for a moment to take a breather, and I can walk away a moment to take a breather, but we never give up on each other. Like he's always told me that if we're over and I will never leave, but if you step away, then I will never be with another person, and I will go alone. But of course, you know, that's never gonna happen, because every time I push him away when I'm sick, because I know I'm putting him through so much, I was like, no, I have to leave you because I'm killing you, you know, like my sickness is killing you, and I can see how it's affecting you. Like this past 3 to 4 weeks, you know, I put him through the last like bouts of like he literally couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't anything, because I was so sick. I haven't slept, so my mind is like so messed up. Like if I'm hurting one time, he's hurting 10 times. That's how, you know. And it's like, but now I'm so blessed that with the trauma healing, like from the past, and like, you know, insecurities and all that stuff, you know, it's all about in the moment. He reminds me, he's been through all that too. He was like 7-10 years 7 years without anyone before me. I was
Yeah.
like, I was coming out of a first relationship, very young kindred relationship, but it wasn't a love relationship like it is with him. It was more of a compassionate relationship because
Right.
the Christmas before I had asked for the universe. I was working on laws of manifestation. I was like, it was quiet at night, and I was like, Christmas Eve, and the Christmas tree is lit, and everyone's safe, and they're all asleep, and I couldn't sleep because I'm a night owl, day owl, whatever it is. And I was like, sitting on the kitchen table, I was like, dear universe. And I was practicing my gratitude and everything and letting go and stuff. And I was like, please send me someone to love. That's all I asked for. And they literally sent me someone, and his name is Christopher, which is like really sweet because he's like Chris and I'm Mary, you know, in the way,
Yeah.
Christ and Mary and all that stuff. But like,
So you manifested that love. You manifested that love because you
Yeah.
asked for something. Like, send me somebody that's good for me.
Yeah. And he
You
was,
didn't
and
have-
he was beautiful.
You didn't
But
say send me
This
me
person
James or
that
send
did
me.
that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's
And
awesome.
but that relationship, he had a lot of trauma too. So, but at the end, I still forgave him for what happened in the end. But at the same time, he really did truly love me. I really did truly love him. But at the same time, we were both two really broken and hurt souls, you know, like, but we came together to love each other the best we can. And, you know, now it's like, once in a blue moon, I just contact him and hope he's doing well, you know, and all this stuff. And he's engaged now, which is really beautiful. I'm very happy for him. And I'm with my love, and I'm respectful of my love. And, you know, I tell him everything. Like, I don't hide anything. You know, I try to, he's utterly honest with me. In the beginning, I was so worried about telling him about my mental illness, and I didn't want to scare people away because back then, at least 5 years ago, people were scared of, like, you know, oh, she's bipolar. They're fucking, excuse my French, they're crazy. You know,
You can
all this
swear.
stuff. And it's
Don't
true.
worry.
Because we're, you know, like
Safe
this, we're, you know, but when I met him, I let him speak. I let him tell his truth. I let him share. He shared everything, girl. A little bit too much sometimes, but at that moment, I was like, it's okay, because he's so honest. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That means that I could open my
And that's what we call. That's what we call a kindred spirit, or you can call that like a
soul's connection, or
a soul,
soulmate,
like a deep
right?
soul's connection. Like,
yes,
I try to stay away from terminology because I'm not completely.
Right.
I mean, I call myself a shaman. I mean,
yes,
that's to let you know what I do.
I'm actually on the same path as you too, Mr. Aaron.
Nice.
I believe I finally came to a understanding that I believe I am called to become a shamaness.
Nice.
Yes.
Or just a shaman. It's really
a shaman. Yeah.
It's you can call yourself a medicine woman.
Medicine woman. Yeah.
Be careful with Native Americans; they might get on you for that one.
Yeah, that's okay.
Right?
But we have somebody. But thank you.
I like to be called a shamaness because it's
yes, awesome, and you are.
fitting,
yes, you are.
You know, for me.
Awesome, Mary. Well, we've got Michelle's waiting to come in.
Yes.
So I'm going to kick you off and then bring you back in. But thank you for joining and for playing.
Sending your insight.
Yes, I'm gonna go back to Facebook and listen to you guys and share you guys out. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
you, Mary.
Love you
too.
Bye bye.
All right, we're gonna bring on Michelle.
Hello,
welcome, Michelle.
Hi, how are you guys?
We're doing good.
How are you?
I'm good. A little cold here, but good.
Good.
Freezing.
Yeah, I know. We live in Southern California right now, so I'm grateful.
Yes, we are very grateful.
Yeah, this is Colorado cold.
Oh yeah, that's cold. I'm used to Utah cold, so.
Oh, same.
Yeah, same.
Yep. So yeah.
So what's going on?
I don't know. Really struggling with the holidays, I guess. You know, my daughter, same old.
Right.
So I do hear blurbs from her, but nothing too promising.
Right.
Right.
And Christmas is just like you guys said with labels, I should never have done that. But it's
that expectation that kind of comes with it, right? And I think, and it's different for everybody. Sometimes it's a holiday season, sometimes it's an anniversary, sometimes it's a whatever event it was that they put so much expectation on, right? So much promise, so much like their idea.
Well, this is Christmas, so this is what's supposed to be when the family gets together, and that unfortunately isn't held as sacred as it used to be.
Right.
I know, and I'm a little. Well, I don't think I'm much older than you, a little bit, but
right.
You know, it's just we had wonderful, and I don't care what the day is on the calendar. I learned that in the forest. You know, just have the day with your family. But my mom isn't participating in Christmas this year, and that's the go-to place in the middle. And now I'm not going to see either of my kids for Christmas. And I did a different little Christmas for my other daughter about a week ago, and just not doing well.
Well, I have to do it a little bit different this year too. It's the first year I'm away. I've had two of my kids kind of take their own little paths, but one child, this is her first real Christmas with not having me there, not having grandma there. She has no one right now. Right. And yes, I feel for her. Trust me. It kind of hurts me a little bit, but at the same time, it reminds me that it really is those little gestures and those little things all the time. Right. It doesn't matter when it happens. Mm-hmm. It's understanding she's going through this period now where at something she expected to always have is no longer there. How do I rectify that? Right.
Yeah.
Or can I, or should I? Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm not always going to be here. You may come to a place where you truly actually have nothing and no one, not that they're just not right there. Right. So what part do I take in her gaining that strength of knowing and understanding that she can handle this on her own? It's just another day, right?
Right. Can she come to you?
Not at this moment. No. And that's, like I said, that's part of
I don't even know if she wants to come to us,
right.
like come that far. Like this.
Honestly, right.
I mean, that's like a 10.5-hour drive.
And see, and that's what I'm saying about.
And she doesn't have a license yet, so
being totally
she can't drive out here.
Yeah.
She could probably catch a train or a bus or a plane, but I mean, she's not financially able to do that right now.
Right. She's still in that growing phase. She's still realizing what it actually takes to be a grown-up, independent, on your own, doing your thing, and and that's why I say it can be really hard for us parents to
the
really
baby of the family
know when we need to extend that extra time, because it hurts us sometimes, right? Like,
yes,
it hurts when I don't hear from you every day. But then I also got to understand, you expect me to reach out a little, and then I also got to understand the balance of that. She doesn't want me peeping in too much, right? Understanding relationships without expectations is it's hard, but truly that's where that peace comes in, knowing that in any given moment you're doing the right thing, even if it doesn't necessarily feel like it's right because of some other thing, right? Knowing in your heart, I am putting that balance in. I'm reaching out enough. I'm allowing her to talk enough, but she needs to understand that this is kind of how this world works.
How it works. Yeah. I don't know what to do with this other daughter of mine, though. The one that I don't really hear from.
Yeah. I have one of those too. And she's with someone that I just, I got my own opinions on that I try not to put in the middle of it.
She's very headstrong and wants to do it herself. And
she
she wants to prove to everybody, she's got like this whole chip on her shoulder. She wants to prove to everybody that she.
Are you talking about your daughter or
my oldest one?
Oldest.
Yeah, just to get a little bit of context, a little bit of maybe maybe there's some parallels here, and I know there is. I've given you readings, so I know there is.
Yeah.
But your daughter, like you're here.
What in the hell is her problem? There was no fight.
No, not with mine either. Yep. All of a sudden I was her worst enemy with nothing. It was kind of this weird.
It's because they meet other people and then they start thinking, okay, it's this whole disconnection. And this is happening in the nuclear family everywhere.
It really is.
This kind of fractured family.
Yeah. It's happening to a lot of people.
Yes.
And get a load of this. So, her father was very abusive. I left him when she was very young.
Yep.
No relationship there. His wife, girlfriend, whatever she is, I don't know, is demanding my two girls go down there at Easter to make up, because my one daughter's not talking to the oldest one either. So she's not just not talking to me, she's not talking to her either.
Yeah.
And how do you see that laying out? Honestly.
I feel like it's going to be time, but it's going to come together.
It will. It's just
for them.
Like you're getting like for them, because right now, I mean, I hate to say it, but they're both being selfish.
Yes.
My daughters? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah.
And they're willing to, they want to go do their own thing without you knowing about it, because if you know about it, then you're gonna be a mom.
Or they're gonna hear your voice
you're like,
right?
I'm
Those
still gonna be a
lessons are
mom.
gonna be there.
Like, I don't care
lives.
whether, you know what I mean? Like,
No, but
you're
when they
still
go
gonna be their
down
mother.
to Texas to see their dad, the oldest one, of course, told me, she goes, I
Yeah,
just
they're
want to let
spiting you right now. They're spiting you right now.
they
Or they're
are.
just, he's the second best. He's the next thing. So if I don't have mom, who could I go to
Yeah.
And
No, I'm just,
that's what
the
they're gonna
thing
go to dad.
is they haven't talked in over 2 years. And his
Yeah.
girlfriend, whatever, is telling them, you need to get down here and you two need to get talking. And meaning the two of them, the two sisters, which I would love that. And when my daughter told me, I said, oh my God, I'm not going to be here forever,
Exactly. Yeah.
And I want you two back together. I want your kids growing cousins and, and I truly want that.
Yeah.
But he's been such an abusive person. I'm like, oh no, is this just going to make it worse on my end?
Right.
Do you think it's going to? Or do you think, what do you
No, I think it's yeah, you haven't gone through the worst of it yet.
Right.
But when you get to the worst of it, you know that you're almost there.
Right. Well, because really, it really is more of an emotional game. Just in my own experiences, it really is when they come to a point in time, it's maturity, right? My kids, my girls, they grew up with me.
Yep.
Okay. And
completely with me, 100%
they
with me.
totally understood who their dad was and knew him to be whatever. But they also kind of they didn't want to go a lot of times, and I didn't force them. Okay. Right. They were old enough to, if they don't want to, I'm not going to make it happen. I know you child support, whatever. Okay. So come see them and tell them you want to be, but I'm not going to force them to go with you. They have to spend time with you. You paid. Okay. Whatever, I guess, if we're looking at children as transactions these days. But so my children knew who their dads were and did not like who they were being as they were growing up and chose me. Mm-hmm. But when I started to express myself, when I got out of these relationships and was kind of free to kind of start exploring who I truly was, the fact that I don't stay single long really bothered them. And yeah, I get it. I understand their frustration with that, But
no. Hold on a second. But you're going back to childhood, and that
because that's where a lot of people
I know, but what I'm saying is, when you get to this point, and this is what we have a problem with this younger generation. Yes. Nothing against the younger generation. There's plenty of well-adjusted, good, great people from that generation of your daughters, right? Mm-hmm. Or our daughters. Mm-hmm. But this is what happens, and I'm noticing is that we've systematically learned how to become learned that victimhood, we have control there, or we have some control. We have some, it's basically emotional blackmail. But
yes, you're right.
That generation has learned emotional blackmail very well.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. It's because, you have to find that solace within yourself and what makes you happy, because you have chaos in your life and you have indecision and there's things you're stubborn about. So work on those things. Yeah. And it will fall into place more. Now, it's not going to be easy. We've talked about this. And they're not going to shut you out of their life forever, but.
Well, so you're saying when they go down there, this is going to blow and they're both going to end up angry with me?
No.
No. That's not what we're saying at all.
Like,
no.
Get to come. I'm like,
I'm talking about the general energy or vibe of everything that's going on right now.
They're both going to understand it from a different level from each other.
Well, I hope they talk, because they haven't spoken in so long. And the thing is my youngest, the one that's not talking, her and I were probably much closer than I was with my other daughter that is speaking to me.
Right.
And my oldest daughter and I, we really don't have much of an issue. She can be a little bit of a bully.
Right.
But there's a lot of bad blood between the two of them, even though they're only a year apart.
Right.
And that high school kind of thing. They just, just girls.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that they actually do make up. And do you think that may happen?
I do believe they're going to have a much better relationship from here. they're going to gain new perspectives.
Yes.
Okay. Because the
What is
way, and that's kind of the gist I was trying to get to with even just with my kids. They grew up with me with this idea of their dads, but found they really still like need that approval. But
Yes.
to not disappoint me, they like shut me out to seek dad. Right.
You really think that's what's going on?
To a degree.
Because my oldest hasn't shut me out at all.
Right. I think it is to a degree that.
Well, your oldest has a better perspective.
Right. Exactly.
Well, that's because he's doing the crap to her that he did to our family.
Right.
So
Right.
she's the one that's older, so she's starting to see it.
And that's what I'm saying. They got to come into their own reality.
Yeah, like they haven't
you know.
figured it out. Like there's going to be a moment for both of them. It'll be different times.
Right.
But where they, oh my God, what a, like I actually like where they're like actually missing you. They can't shut you out anymore. It's too hard. You're like, you're right in their mind. You're always, and they'll get to that point where they really need you. And that's unfortunately when they're going to come around.
Right.
Well, the oldest one is around.
Yes.
Yeah, the oldest one's around, but I'm talking about the
But
ones
the
that you're having problems with.
No, it's just the one younger one. I have two.
Right.
The younger one needs that new perspective.
Yes.
She needs that new
get that new perspective. I mean, I've been waiting almost 2 years, and this is
Yeah.
like
well, because
excruciating.
she unfortunately, okay.
I think she's up to no good.
Well, yes, a little bit, but
she's not doing things in alignment with you. Like I said,
Right.
she don't want her mom around because her mom's going to be her mom.
She's got these things that going on that she hears you. She knows what you have to say about it. She knows how you feel or believes she does. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so with her expectation, with her belief of what you would say or do, your reaction to things, she's
It would probably
reacting
be
to that.
different because she's not 16 and doing it anymore.
Right.
Now would
But
be
she's
more
still reacting to that like preconceived notion.
Yeah, where I'm gonna
Opposed
like
to opening up and really being like with you, and like she's got her idea of you in her mind right now, and she's holding on to it for like security, but at the same time she's like battling against
You know what?
it,
Let's
right?
bring my daughter on. She can give you a better perspective. She's a yin yang goddess.
Yeah.
For
Mikkel,
real?
do you want to come on? Yeah, that's my daughter. She's going through some things, and she can give you the perspective of. She's 25 years old now.
Yep.
So do you
She's
think
So,
some of
beginning
the-
of all
Mikkel,
this
do you want to
chaos.
come on? Just hit that link in the pinned comments, and I'll let you in. We can all have a conversation.
Because I mean, I'm sure you have other people backed up. I don't want to keep you guys.
No,
in
no,
trouble.
no. There's nobody behind.
Actually,
There's nobody
at
behind
the
you right
moment,
now.
there's not.
I think there's
Oh,
Wendy
yep.
Ladd.
Yep, Wendy Ladd's on.
Wendy Ladd, but she needs to turn on. She needs to allow her mic and her camera so she can come on.
Okay.
So, but how long do you see this going on? Tiffany, make it easier.
Now
Sarah's
I'm going to say 3.
younger.
I hate to say
How
this,
long?
3 to 5 years is what I get.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's
More?
gonna
I
take that
know.
long.
I'm
I don't
sorry.
think it's gonna take that long.
I don't think it will either, but that was what came to my brain.
But I think it's gonna take a scare for
Could be
her to
3 to
come
5
back.
months.
Like she's gonna. It's
Yeah,
gonna come
you
to a.
talked
5 is what I got.
about
Yeah.
that. When do you think that scare is coming up?
I think it's already kind of brewing.
Like I said, I think
Oh.
it's between 3 and 5. I said,
But as far as having a
3
good
months,
relationship, because she can,
maybe weeks.
like there are a couple of different scenarios that can play out here. All we can do is look at the one that's
Most prominent.
Most
the energy
prominent?
playing out at the moment.
there. We go. Wendy Ladd's got her stuff back.
There we
Okay,
go.
so you got to understand that she might clam up and get even more stubborn as things happen.
As my daughter does. My oldest one does.
But I don't feel like that. I feel like she's got to experience what is real and who is there for her and who is not. And she hasn't got to that point yet.
Yeah, because
3
I
to
mean,
5 weeks, months, or years. I don't know.
I want to know.
Go ahead.
Weeks,
Go ahead.
months, or years. Because if it's years, I swear to you, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. I cannot handle it.
I hope not. I hope not. But I got 3 to 5. That's
And
what
really,
I got.
it's important that you, like, I know this sounds cheesy, but really telepathically talk to her.
Yes.
She can hear you.
I
You're her
do.
mother.
I
Yes.
do. I'm like,
Good.
holy
And you probably get a lot better answers when you're telepathically talking to her, right?
I sometimes feel like she's closer.
Yes.
And then I'm expecting, well, I shouldn't expect, but
Yeah,
thinking
exactly.
she's going to come around this holiday or she's going to something.
Right.
See, so what you need to do is find peace in those inner answers, because her soul is letting you know. what
her soul will talk to you, and it's
speaks and
different than
feels,
what her human's
but
doing.
her human is still going through experiences to bring her there.
Okay, let me just ask a different question and then I'll leave you guys be. But
All right.
I
You're good.
am,
No problem.
this is like one of those things. It's like, oh my God, is she going to have a child at some point and I'm not even going to be there?
Now that
Do you
I
see-
feel like it's a possibility, but I don't think so.
I don't think so. No,
I think that when
you'll
she
be there
comes
when
to big
that
life
happens.
things, she's gonna.
Yeah, I do
contact
think you'll
Mom.
be there when that happens.
Yeah.
What about her college graduation? I think she's a couple of years off. from
She's
nursing
still working on it. She'll graduate.
Yep.
Will I be there for that one, or am I gonna have to go like hide in the crowd?
Yeah, I
You
think
may
it's.
have
I
to
don't think
invite
it's going to
yourself,
take
but
years.
I don't think so.
I think it's like 2023 should be a lot better, and you're going to start. What you're going to do is going to start to get like you said before. Like I get a little bit here and there, but I don't get like where I want to be with her.
Oh,
And
not even.
what's
No.
going to happen is going to be a painful conversation or conversations
Right.
and a process.
Where you
And
see
then
where
it's gonna,
at.
and then it's where things are gonna be talked about that neither one of you wanted to really talk on before, and you're gonna be uncomfortable, but you're gonna heal from that.
Yeah, I already went through a lot of therapy with my oldest, and I've learned how to just listen.
This therapy is gonna come from you two. This is gonna come from the family
A
unit. It's
natural,
not gonna come
organic,
from a
yeah.
therapist.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that with the oldest, I went
Right.
through that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of, Michelle, do you want a relationship with your daughter? And I'm like, but it didn't happen that way. And she's like, do you
Right,
wanna-
and that's I know,
or
but the
do you
thing
wanna
is,
have
that's
a
why you don't bring it.
relationship?
That's why you
Yeah.
don't bring a therapist in. And I hate
Yeah.
to say it, all therapists. I know you're doing your great work. You learned, and you do great work. But I think in this case, it's going to be, how do you say, instead of like man to man, mano a mano, it's going to be woman to woman. Like,
Well, here's the thing: understanding
What
their
did I do to
perception
her?
and being able
What
to understand that
did-
they saw it that way,
Yeah.
whilst
Yeah, I've
also
learned to just
defending
apologize.
and like.
Mhm.
And this is the hard part, really defending your place, right? Like, because it didn't go down like that. I can see where maybe you saw that or felt that way. And I'm sorry, but here's
did,
my stance on it.
but I have
right?
learned to just say, do you want a relationship with your child? Shut up. They need the apology. Apologize, tell them you
Yeah.
love them.
I know.
and time
I heard that a lot too.
yeah, and
I
that's
did.
okay. Like that apology's okay. However,
I
you
do
still
keep
need to hold them to
apologizing
account
for it.
as adults.
Right.
Like you're
Yeah.
adults now. Like you have to fly, little birdie. Like and you hopefully you come back and you give respect to your elders and the people that raised you and got you to this point, or got you to a point that they taught you how to live, which you've done.
Mhm.
But they've got to be held to account to the things they say, and when they start becoming victims, you have to nip that in the bud.
Okay. Here's the other thing. I mean, what did I do to upset her so much? I really,
No, I think it's more of her, like,
it was
her
more of
love interest.
disconnect of other things, and
It's-
the person that
I
she
think
was
it has a
with
lot to do with her love interest.
had
Okay.
some convincing stories that she somehow coerced herself to identify with.
Yeah.
who had
And
those stories?
her boyfriend.
He doesn't even know me at all.
No, but
His
he's
life
got okay. She's looking for
Yeah.
a relationship. She's looking for
She's looking
the
for a
things
dad.
we naturally want. That's what she's prioritized her life on.
Okay.
So mom comes kind of second here.
Sure. That's fine.
Now, mom doesn't come second when it comes to, oh my God, I need an emotional healer. I need the person I need to, to give me the nurturing, the understanding, the ear, being able to listen. But don't let them, they're still your kids. They're still acting the way they always have.
Right.
If you look back and you just look at how she was
Yeah.
when she was a kid,
She's acting
treat
like
her
it's
the same way. Treat her the same way.
Yep.
All right,
Like
we're
what?
gonna let Wanda on, but Wendy. But
Yes,
thank you
Wendy.
very much, Michelle.
We
I'm
could
so
probably go
happy
so
and
deep
grateful
into
that you
this.
came onto the stream.
You're
And I hope
awesome.
that you feel a little better. You're awesome too.
Okay.
And
See
we'll talk to you soon.
you later.
Much love, girlfriend.
Later.
Oops.
Whoops, we gotta get back on there. All
There
right,
we
let's
go.
let
And Wanda.
Wendy.
Wendy.
Lady Grace. Kales.
Wendy Grace.
I know
God,
Lady
you guys
Grace.
mess it up so bad.
Lady.
I said it right. All right, we'll say it. Wendy, Lady Grace.
Lady Grace.
Or Wendy.
Wendy.
Lady
of Grace.
Lady of Grace, exactly. I
Wendy.
screwed it up again.
Lady of Grace.
What's going on, Wendy?
You guys are so funny. You make me laugh.
Good. I'm glad.
Really, laughter is
Making you
so
smile.
fucking important.
God, yeah, no, everything's good. I don't have nothing to complain about.
Good. That's good.
Good.
It was so hard to sit backstage and not put in my perspective because I can so relate from the mother aspect and the daughter aspect,
And
wanting
please
her
do,
independence.
because that's the whole point, right? Like that's where I come from too. I always try to raise my kids understanding how I felt as a kid, and yet my kids were traumatized by certain things that I wish I would have heard, right? So
Yeah.
say
So I
it.
mean, we can't really look. We're moms, okay,
Yep.
but we were also the daughters at the time,
Right.
and our mothers had expectations, raised us a certain way, certain values, and everything else. Now I was the one that ripped away from that, went completely different, whole different lifestyle than what my mother has, raised me to be, and the
Right.
expectations and such. And I stayed away from her for a good 10 years. So from
Yeah.
the age of 23, when I had my first daughter, to, well, I just recently got back within the last 5 years before my father's death. And that
Yeah.
had to be divine intervention. But I got to tell you, she had a hard time seeing me in the life that I had to partake and do to become what I am today, to be able to walk back into her life,
Right.
rekindle our relationship, and be the for our family now that has
Right.
she's just blown her mind. And then on my journey, the whole time I was out there for the 10 years, I was with you guys for the decade, for the
Right.
Facebook family, the spiritual family. That's where the essence came out, the name, aka Lady Grace. But I went
Right.
through hell and high water in the physical world to gain a powerful perspective against my mother's wanting me to be blah
Right.
blah blah blah. Now, when I
Right.
came back with her, she sees me as Wendy, the daughter that has evolved and grown and changed and has a bigger perspective. And she also acknowledges my spiritual, higher consciousness that also comes. And then she sees what I represent on Facebook, which was never acknowledged really before. So we have a great bonding. But
Right.
saying that, I have two daughters, and both of them are basically away from me. And I'm in the same situation as Michelle, I believe, was prior to being on here, where her daughter's astray and she's doing her own thing and she don't want to communicate. I got a daughter that just turned 21. She just got married and had a baby all in the same 3 months time. Now,
Yeah. Wow.
we don't speak, but she
Right.
has been very independent. She has been very selfish. She has been wanting to break free. She wants to have her own experience, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
She disrespected my mother on so many levels because my mother raised her for 5 years, or no,
Right.
10 years, basically. The time
Yeah.
I was away, she was raising that older daughter. And
Right.
what I seen as a mother aspect, and then a side stepmother, watching my mother go through the pain and everything of the separation of my daughter not being there, being respectful, the expectations, the values, everything else has been a repeat pattern that I did when I was younger. Is my daughter just wants her independence. She wants to have her way. She will try to manipulate because she's 21. She hasn't had any life
Yep.
experience to even
Right.
understand what the struggle and the
And that's
respect
the
needs
whole,
to be, how
yeah,
to
that's the
honor
hard thing.
her grandmother
That's the hard
besides
thing
her mother.
that's the
You
hard
know?
thing. The hardest thing is they don't have that perspective
Right.
when they're in their 20s. I mean, remember we're
You
in our
feel
20s.
so much,
Oh
but you
God, we
don't
think
know
we
shit.
got a lot figured out, and
Oh,
Oh,
and
I
we
think I
just
just lost
go-
you.
you
Uh-oh.
did? Am
Are
I
you still
am I
here?
still here?
Check.
Check.
Uh-oh.
We lost. Yes, we lost Wendy.
Oh no.
She'll be back on. Wendy,
hope
you can
so.
join again.
Yes.
And
Please get
Mikkel,
back
if you want to
on.
join, Yin Yang Goddess, have no fear. Everything's cool.
That's right.
Join and give us your perspective.
Because here's the thing. Every perspective is important. Why? Because it brings every perspective to a deeper depth of everything. While you are experiencing something, being in the midst of it and truly experiencing it is your lesson, right? Understanding it, knowing how to deal with it, which many of us don't, right? They've separated us from our whole connectivity to ourselves for many moons. But truly understanding that every bit of everything is that important. It truly, truly is. And knowing how to deal with it without hurting so badly that we're destroying everything else.
Yeah. Wendy found us again.
Thank you, Wendy.
We're gonna have
Yay.
Wendy. There you go, Wendy.
I don't know what happened. I just got booted off somehow. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
do
that's
this
happened.
Facebook.
exactly.
It's these
It,
big
it's
mainstream things.
exactly what you said. I learned as a daughter, I learned as a mother, and now I learned as a side daughter, and I have a grandbaby that I've never got to
Yeah.
see because of this problem.
Right.
Yeah.
As a higher perspective and a mother leader in the spiritual community here on Facebook, I have dealt with a lot of this situation before I even brought it into my private life. And what I
Right.
Right.
see is we have to allow our children to experience what they have to experience to
Yes.
gain the honor and respect that we are supposed to be giving back to as the elder parents. We are the
And
more
that's, yes,
responsible ones. We've gone through the lifestyle. We understand. So we should be able to put our emotions aside, although they're
Yep.
there, but represent and hold space for them and let them spread their wings and fall on their face
Right.
7
That's
times.
right.
Okay, Mom,
That's
I'm
right.
so sorry. And then come back with
Mhm.
honor and respect. And meanwhile, while they're doing their thing, this is what I do. I mind my business and do my thing. I work out what
right.
Wendy wants to do, what
That's
Wendy's
awesome. That's
emotion is.
perfect.
Yes. Boom, bang,
That's
Because
bing.
exactly what you do, because what are you going to
Yes.
do?
you're
Like, you're going to go like
right,
net
you're
them and
losing
bring
your
them back
life
home?
focusing on these are adult kids. So what are you gonna do? You're
That's
losing
right.
your life focusing on your
Yep.
adult kids that need to
That's
get
right.
their shit together. I would
Yep.
tell Michelle, girl, don't worry about your daughter. She'll be fucking fine. She's doing her thing. Mind your own thing. What's making you happy making you joyful. If she doesn't
That's
call, she
right.
doesn't call. Focus something else.
Yep.
That's right.
By you
The
raising your
happier you are
energy, your
in
thought
your life,
I
process,
agree.
then the bonding. Yeah, go into a
that's
frequency.
agree.
Don't
right.
go into the mental state.
That's right.
Yep.
Amen. I say amen to that one, because really it does come down to that. Like, when we project too much, we have too much expectation, and it does come down to that. All these labels, the soulmate, the twin flame, the whatever.
Yeah, the labels
When
suck.
you hear that word, when that vibration works through you, you gain some sort of expectation, right?
Yep.
Motherhood, the ideology that has been fed to us that motherhood is. But understanding that we're raising human beings to be independent human beings, they might fall into the whole like bullshit that's going on right now, and they're like shutting you out because you're like open them up, and they're going, oh, I don't know, whatever, doesn't matter. We all as human beings deserve our own
Life.
independent projection in this world without putting it on everyone else, right? Like, I can see it the way I see it, and I can help you and guide you through it without putting the way, like, my process on you. You don't have to do it exactly the way I did it. As long as you
Exactly.
understand these basic values, your core, you're human, you're going to make it through it, right?
Indeed. Indeed. And they have to make it through it by doing the footsteps. My mother had gave them the
That's right.
base. I gave my kids the base. Now
Right.
I was a little different. My mother had to step in and raise my children because she's a more human aspect. I, as
Right.
Lady Grace, the essence that you see has always been the fairy, dairy, the goddess essence. So the crystals, the incense, all that came with my package. My
Right.
children had a hard time with me being that kind of mother. They were very embarrassed by that kind of mother. And in
Yeah.
the human world, the finances, the business minded, the college degrees, that was my mother's expertise. So
Yeah.
she got to raise both of my kids in that format. Now, my youngest daughter just turned 19. Her name is Shea, and she's both male and female gendered in the consciousness.
Yeah.
She comes to me when she needs me as Mama Grace. She'll know when to come for me for that. But when she needs that hard hand, she don't come to me. She goes to my mother. So they basically know how to navigate that.
Right. Right.
So it
And the
seems like,
same-
okay, so what's happening, what I'm seeing is you've taken a role of the mother, and your mother has taken the role of the father.
Yeah, bingo. Bingo. And now it's completely strange for both of my kids now, because now that my stepfather had passed away and I have taken a more dominant place in my mother's home now, we're both equals now. It's no longer, we shifted. Now the kids don't know what the hell to think.
Right. And that's the way it works, right? Like,
Yeah, because
Keep them
I
on their
back up mom
toes.
now.
Keep them on their
Yeah,
toes.
you don't disrespect grandma. Don't come to me with your bullshit.
Right.
Right.
So they can't manipulate. But that's the same way I learned a lot of this through the Facebook family, through Israel Santana Kelly and the Oneness Project Light, and the family that considers Mama Grace, Grace. And you guys, I've been with you guys for over a decade, I guess.
Oh my God,
Yeah, it's
girl,
been a
it has
long
been
time.
so
I've
long.
known
I love it.
Israel. Okay, do you guys remember when And let me know in comments too. Do you remember when Facebook first started getting big? Like we all turned it into this place where we were sharing like positivity and
Yes.
just sharing
And
positivity
love
posts
and
and
growth
memes.
and
And
like
that's what we were constantly doing. And then
Yeah.
Israel stepped up and he started doing shows. And this was
Yeah.
like 2008, 2007.
Yep.
But I've known Israel since the beginning, since we started doing this on Facebook.
I
And
came in 2014.
yeah, so
oh wow.
we are all learning, like we're all trying to find our place again, and we'll all find the same place to hang out.
Right.
Like
Oh
it's
my
gonna
God.
come up again.
It'll happen. You know what? Our family, we changed so much and everything else, but I'm not exactly with Oneness Project Light, and I don't speak to Israel anymore. I haven't spoke to him about 6 months.
Right.
We shifted, but I got to tell you what, our family is our family. I see it just like our kids. We have
Yep.
to allow everybody
Yes.
to have their experience, and when they come back, and if it doesn't resonate, then it doesn't resonate. We
That's
all have
right.
our
Right.
own job.
That means another thing is happening over here. Okay, maybe I need to know about it a little bit so that I'm not like blindsided by any whatever. But they can do their thing, and I can do
Yep.
my thing, and we're all growing happily.
Because you go to one place
beautifully.
and then they open you up to something. They open a door up,
Yep.
and then they've opened a door up. So you and some people get stuck there in that
That's
one
right.
doorway.
That's right.
No, yeah, and that's
Other
where
people want to
I've
walk through the
evolved.
door, and they want to find out for themselves. And that's what happens is if you're willing to learn and utilize that shamanic energy, you're gonna move on to somebody else, and you're gonna learn from them. That doesn't mean who you first learned and who first woke you up isn't valid. It just means you're going further into that depth of awareness.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed.
Really.
And I chose to embrace a lot of my physical experience because I mastered pretty much, I think, everything in my physical life where I can both be the consciousness embodiment of the human at the same time. So now I can come
Right.
back into human and goof off and not have to worry about it.
Yeah,
Right, and that's
right.
just it. Knowing you can bounce from like that compassionate, I'm leading you, I'm guiding you, I'm helping you understand something, to yo, you need to know this, all right?
Yeah, I can be the
What's up?
storm in the rainbow at the same time. That's why.
Right? Amen, girlfriend. Amen.
That's very important that we have,
It
as
really
those
is.
that
You are the
consider us
storm
leaders.
and you are
I
the
never claimed
rainbow.
myself a
You are
leader, but
all of it.
yeah,
Boom.
when they
We are the
consider us
chaos
leaders, we have to have that.
and
That's
we are the
right.
calm.
How do we share? Okay, we're gonna share the broadcast again. So the studio, if you want to jump on,
All right,
let me
honey.
know.
I love you
There's
guys.
nobody
Thank you so
behind you.
much.
There's nobody behind you, Wendy.
Oh
You're
no,
good.
you're
Oh,
good. And we
oh,
love you, girl. Because really, I seriously, it really is understanding your purpose beyond the purpose, right?
yeah, beyond. There you
Like
go. Now,
I'm
see,
reading
that's
this new
that's the
book.
set
Okay,
right there.
I got myself back into reading because I haven't read in a while. And I read this book called Norma because my name is Norma. Hello, I have to read it. I've never seen a book called Norma, and I'm Norma. And how many Normas are there out there in this world? Anyway,
Ah,
the point was, it was very Christian minded. And I see and I understand that hive mind, that idea where we need to understand that ancient knowledge, those things that work, right?
mhm.
And it also brought me to that place of this is how it's co-opted. Holy shit, what are we doing?
Yep.
Right? And so it really is truly, truly allowing yourself to understand yourself today. You're here and you're now without damning anybody else. Look, I have 2 out of 3 that don't talk to me, children,
Hmm.
for totally different reasons. And you know what? When I ask myself why that matters, it doesn't. And so I don't pay too much attention to it. I have faith in the world. I have faith in God. I know that when these relationships come back to me, it may not just be swimming pools and happy
Movie
parties,
stars.
but they're going to be coming to me because they know now and understand that I understood that they needed to go elsewhere to understand something else.
That's an
But
aspect
they
about mama
ultimately
bears.
needed me, right?
Yeah. Well, we have a
It
hard
doesn't
time
matter
releasing
how
them to
long.
the universe.
That's right. God, the universe, whoever, whatever. Which way you need to understand that we are so much more than we are right now, whilst allowing ourselves to be fully now who we are. Because our perception now is that important. Truly, truly finding that balance.
And our perception is going to change 500 times. What
Yep.
I
That's
seen
right.
5 years ago, what
That's
my
right.
expectation was, my life experience balanced in with my consciousness that flipped my perception
Right.
100%. So that's why I beat on the
Yes.
truth. Everybody says
Yes.
the truth, the truth, the truth. And I says, well, your truth isn't going to resonate with that truth.
That's
Everything.
right.
And you have to
That's
allow
right.
that. And that's why I let my kids be. That's why I let my mom be. And that's where I can be literally at 0 point, be the
Right.
Yep.
observer, and step in when I
Yes,
have to.
girlfriend.
Yep.
Hell yes. Yes, yes, yes.
That doesn't
When
mean I
you
don't
can
get my feelings
fully
hurt.
observe,
Right. Your
yeah,
feelings still get hurt.
where you're still a human. And that
Exactly.
ego is a natural, normal human function that helps us grow and like tweak ourselves.
And we should respect the ego. It's a very healthy thing to
That
do. I
is
see
right.
so much of the
That is
spiritual
right.
community throwing it in the trash,
That's
and
right.
it's turning you to become a zombie,
Amen.
robotic
That's
Oh,
right.
consciousness.
thank you.
And that
Yes.
is, I'm
Wendy.
100% against that. That's why I say you're here as already consciousness to have a human experience,
That's
to
right.
enjoy the emotions, to enjoy the pleasures, to enjoy the
Yes.
drinks, and whatever you choose. So there's no wrong in that. It's just a choice of an experience. And when you have that experience and you finally say, okay, I'm done with that, I'm going to go to something else. That is the elevation of your soul moving
Yes.
into a different frequency. Not that I'm coming here as human trying to find my soul and trying to be consciousness while I'm
Amen.
the astral plane somewhere else. You're
My
avoiding your
God,
life.
girl. Thank you.
You cannot master
Hey,
your
Mikkel,
human.
hold on a second, Wendy. Mikkel, you just follow the link I just sent. It's in the comments. Just
Anyway,
follow that link.
please go on.
That's my
Wendy.
daughter. Anyway.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, we
Yeah,
got
so I
10
went
likes,
forward.
10 different likes, and we've got 12 people
Because
watching.
really,
Awesome.
girlfriend, I'm like
Please
feeling
share out.
your preacherhood.
If you'd like to leave a donation, that donation link is at the bottom here. So,
All that does is help us to pay for our 3 acres of
or whatever. We're
land,
our life
in
that
which
we're
is
doing right now.
going
We're
to bring
sharing the
us
service.
to.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know what? You're so beautiful. What you do. I mean, whatever your voices, the what you come out here, the way you represent yourself, it changes the masses. I watch you guys do beautiful miracle work over the thousands and thousands of people that you touch, and it doesn't matter about your
Well,
card
thank
readings
you.
or even what
Thank
you
you
say.
so much.
It's just your presence alone. So I just want to give that to you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Wendy.
So
We
so
appreciate
much,
it.
Wendy. And I cannot wait until you come and plant your feet on our 3 acres and give me a big old huge hug, because I can see that, and it may never happen, but
It
I
will
am
happen.
feeling
You
it right
spoke it out
now,
loud.
and
It'll
I
happen.
love it.
I love it.
Indigo.
Matter of fact, I'm making travels to go to Sedona to see Francisco,
Oh, that'll be
Rosemary,
awesome.
Alex. Yeah, so I'm making travel. Now I can be me. So now Lady Grace can
That's
travel and she
right.
can be hosted.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
All right, Mikkel, you need to allow your mic and your camera. You don't
I
have
will
to
let
allow
you
your
go.
camera, but allow your mic.
I will
You're
let you guys
getting
go.
a,
I'm
you're
with
getting
your
a blank
daughter.
right now.
Visual
So go
tonight,
back, go out and come back in and allow both of those. It's going to ask you to do that.
I
There
love
we go.
this. Thank you for letting me on. This is the first time I've
dude,
seen
I
this. I think it's
I'm
totally
loving this
awesome.
new love stream. That's the love stream. That's what we're going to call it.
That's totally awesome. Well, if you guys need me, you know I'm always here. I try to pop in when I can.
Yes.
You can,
You have
and I
been.
love
You've been
you,
very
and
supportive.
I am so grateful to you, girlfriend.
Yes.
I am so
Grateful.
grateful for you. I can give you a great big hug and kiss the both of you. I honor and respect
That's
you
I
to the
hope you
highest.
feel my hug right now, because I'm like seriously hugging you.
I know. I feel the warmth.
We love you, Wendy.
Love
Thank
it,
you very
girlfriend.
much for
Thank
joining
you
the stream.
so much.
Thank you, honey. Love you. Bye.
Hang around and watch, and let's
Bye.
gain some more insight.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, Mikkel. Are you on?
Hello, I'm here.
There you go.
Our indigo goddess.
What's going on,
Hi.
Indigo?
Huh? What was your
What's
question?
going on? I just said, what's going on?
Oh, not much. Just got home from work, about to light a candle, call in the angels so I can really properly channel this. What exactly is the topic at hand today, Aaron?
The topic at
Psychic
hand
from-
is all of the terminology like twin flames, soulmate. And you can let it go wherever you want.
Okay.
As long as you don't disrespect, I'll kick your ass off if you do.
I
And
won't
that's me talking to my daughter.
disrespect.
Just know that out there, people.
I'm a
This is my
Scorpio. What
daughter.
can I tell you?
So how's it going? What do you think? What do you have to add to this?
Okay, I'm gonna channel straight from source. Without my ego. The twin flame journey is more of a journey to self and a journey to finding wholeness within yourself, almost like we are running in a race to find ourselves at the finish line. And I don't know why I had to say that, but I did. And now I just want to kind of hop off of what you were saying earlier with, I don't remember her name, excuse me, but something about her daughter and how she hasn't seen her, and the struggles people are.
Michelle DeSantis. Yes.
Okay. So the struggles that we're all going through, and also having our own life path. A struggle with that is sometimes our life path is meant to be something where you're aware of who your twin flame is, or you're with your twin flame or your soulmate, and you're not with them, and you have to learn how to be okay within yourself. And it almost pushes you harder to want to be okay with yourself, because luckily this is where the good part of the programming comes in, is the programming tells us that we have to have a partner with us. And I kind of fully believe that, just because the masculine and feminine coming together as one physically, not just emotionally or spiritually, but physically, you're able to tap into your full potential. Now, if you meet your twin flame and then you separate, let me just clarify what twin flame is. So twin flame, for those who don't know, my perspective is a twin soul is someone who you have a like similarities with, that you somehow you meet them, and say that you separate, you end up going on this huge life journey. A lot of things change in your life. You lose people in your life. Things get shaken up. It's like an earthquake. When you have a karmic partner, that is the one who you may think is your twin flame, but chances are they are someone who you may connect with very deeply, but there's going to be a lot of pain in that relationship. Then you have your soulmates, and your soulmates can come through as family. They can come through as pets. They can come through as friends. It's a soul recognition. It's a, I know you, you know me. I know that you're important in my collective fabric of experiencing this life that we're in. But the cool part about where we're at now is, tell me if either of you have experienced this, being able to communicate. Like, it's almost like if you're having a conversation with someone else physically, face to face, and then you almost hear, whether you call it your angels or that other person, through them, almost like that message came through, or their essence came through that, which they were saying. And those are my perspectives on twin flames and soulmates, and usually the rest of the relationships, especially now, they're not going to exist. When it comes to the level of consciousness that we're at, and the level of manifestation power that we're stepping into,
that comes down to that expectation, doesn't it, girlfriend? It comes down to that whole, like, what do I see this as? When I put a label on something, when I say, this is what I'm feeling.
Usually that's the ego. So if you're saying, well, I know this is my twin flame, this is them, like aggressively, there's a chance that's not your twin flame. That's you being desperate. Now, if you're like, oh man, I like that person, one of the other people shuts them out. There's like it's like an understanding rather than an understanding. It's the understanding's the mind that can tell your body, no, this isn't okay, the ego. Then your understanding's like, sorry, the feeling's still there. It's not going away. No matter what mind tells me.
My inner standing came to my outer standing directly a few times, right? I took the pattern of things, the way things went, the fact that I could truly speak to this man in my mind and he'd show up. The fact that my thoughts were this means that. Now, here's the thing. I do not regret my oldest daughter. I do not regret the relationship
We're talking about Sam right now.
But I do understand now those thoughts and those feelings in a way. that have brought me to a different reality, right? Now I have a child who, she's amazing and she's beautiful, and I wouldn't take her back for anything in the world. But it makes me look at that relationship a little bit differently, right? Was it really just to bring this being into the world? Maybe it was. Because that's the whole thing. I thought we telepathically talked all the time.
Yes.
We were connected in a way that was so weird for such
Like
young people.
Like you and McKinley.
Right? Like it was, and so I put so much expectation on these things. And so much like this thing means this thing that I probably ruined it a little bit.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is different from a spiritual acknowledgement. This means this, and the labeling of things makes things difficult. And that's where, like, not to like toot our own horn, but people like us, we come from a very deep understanding that came from the lack of labels. It was more of a, again, understanding that our human mind couldn't put words on.
Right.
And I've noticed that, I don't know why we're going here, but I noticed that people now, because they're having a deeper understanding without having the proper labels on it, or at least proper understanding, because maybe their family doesn't understand like tarot and the connection with source, like one of your friends, Wendy, I think it was,
Yep,
was saying earlier about how she thought her kids judged her and whatever.
That was
Michelle. Okay, so
Wendy talked about it. She talked about it, but with she had a much deeper level.
Yeah, that's like our soul's blueprint. And that's, I think, where like our soulmates come in, and like our twin flames and whatever, because they're people who make an imprint, and they're people who like, I have one friend that's like a soulmate friend, Bethany. She's amazing. But do we hang out a lot? No. When I see her, do we laugh? Do we like have like a basic friendship? No, but we have an understanding and inner knowing that, like, I love you. You're my sister. You're always going to be my sister.
I mean, we can't deal with you right now with what you're going through right now,
and
but I love you.
Yeah, and with like our collective consciousness, I think it's good to talk just briefly about like, sorry, I'm talking fast because I'm trying to eat and then hurry and get ready so I can leave.
Just relax, dude. Just relax.
Yeah, breathe.
I am relaxed. But the freaking hashtag Kush Cubes. Thank you, Kush Cubes. Shout out to Alt21 CBD.
Okay, whoever that is, I don't know what you're shouting out.
They're like, anyway, it doesn't matter. So basically, the world, when it comes down to like schizophrenia, for example, the doctors will label people with that if they don't have any other obvious like mental illness.
Yo, let's talk about schizophrenia. What is schizophrenia? Like,
it's like hearing.
You heard
so
McKinley.
Like,
okay, go ahead. You said McKinley, so go ahead.
I woke up before and I've heard my daughter literally almost like she was beyond a veil, almost like she was right there, but I couldn't see her, say, Mom, Mom. It's like hearing someone in a dream, but you're awake. Then there's like the schizophrenic part where your mind gets in the way. It's like your mind's telling you, oh, you're crazy. I think that's where the schizophrenia comes in, is the paranoia behind the paranormal or the para.
Yeah, you're seeing things, you're noticing patterns. Yes. And that's what they call schizophrenia, but it's not schizophrenia.
You're not handling the balance.
It's your psychic abilities.
That's right. You're not handling that balance. You're not understanding
I'm getting hungry. How about you, babe?
Yeah.
You getting hungry?
Just a minute.
I'm all eating pizza.
I haven't eaten dinner yet. Or
low
lunch.
Vibes.
Mine too, baby.
Sometimes you gotta come back down when you're so high on that spiritual plane.
No, it's you see, and this is the thing I want to talk about. We'll talk about it later on another show, but I just want to interject that I taught my kids and I taught Mikkel how to see things in the future. I taught them, I nurtured it. I showed them how to use it.
Demons
but what happens is you teach your kids that shit, and then they have other influences that take them away from that, and they're like, yeah, but I still know how to use this.
And now look.
And then they use it for the wrong fucking reasons.
I'm reading a book
because they're kids.
I'm reading a book right now that like brings you into this whole spiritual warfare shit. Like, and I know spiritual warfare is a real thing. It really truly is, because all is mind. If I can fucking bring a little bit of doubt into your confidence,
You will
you know
do
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
Like,
But you're going to get the cause and effect of that too.
and that's the whole thing, right? Like, I'm reading a book right now. I'm not rejecting it, but I'm gonna have a hard time just reading through it
Because they're really Christian.
What's
because
the book
it is
called?
really,
It's called. What's the
really,
book called,
really
babe? Find the
confusing.
book.
I'll
It is
brief Google
called,
it.
the name of the book I'm trying to read, I'm having a hard time getting through, is called A Woman's Guide to Spiritual Warfare. And
They're a little Christian.
now look,
Christian.
I get the things they're saying, and look, in a lot of books I read, like I just read Norma, which was also an inspirative Christian fucking book. But the name was called Norma, and my name is Norma.
But
I'm not
once
here
Norma starts a
much.
fucking book, she will
So,
finish it. So
that's
she's gonna
right.
finish this one too.
That is exactly right. I
'Cause,
will.
like, I
It
can't
may
not-
take me some time, but I'm gonna figure out exactly what this person is trying to tell me, even if I don't like it. Anyway,
You know?
okay.
That brings up a
But
few
I think
topics
that's
of
the
like,
key to things, right? Understanding all of the education coming at you, all of the realities, everything happening. Because here's the thing. When they say that ignorance is bliss, it can be. When you simply just do your own little thing, your own little corner, and your own little corner works all the time, it's fucking bliss, is it not? But when you understand that you are trying to teach your children to now,
Like, I actually
grow
think like
this thing,
teaching your
or-
children like Santa Claus is real is actually detrimental. Like, I think all that shit, like the Easter Bunny's real, like teach them the source of it.
like for the real,
Like
real
Saint
thing.
Nicholas, dude, is bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, but that's look what
Okay.
it puts us in this place of stress.
Yep.
Like to give gifts, and that's cool to give gifts. You should do it all the time.
Always and forever.
But
Yeah.
this is like allowing the monopolies that companies have to continue to have their monopolies. We buy a lot of plastic toys. We try to give them the experience, but guess what? We're putting our kids through psyops,
That's right.
through a psychological
That's right.
operation. What do you think, Mikkel?
And
so I'm gonna circle back to the Christianity part just for Norma. I look at it as like a like the being a Christian has been so, just like Christmas, has been so skewed in the world by our minds and our labels. Being a Christian really is just loving unconditionally, or doing things out of will of helping the other because you see them suffering. Say you have the not upper hand, but you have that missing puzzle piece. You give it to them because you know that your puzzle is still mostly full, and that piece ends up getting replaced. That's again how I feel like we can look at Christmas, right? Like, yeah, Christmas has like sadly all this crazy chaos behind it and holidays and all that, but I look at it as, you know, like the naughty or nice list. This kind of comes down to your book too, like reading between reading between the lines through anything you're reading, through people, through the Bible, through your book, through Christmas, through whatever the hell you're reading or doing. There's an underlying, again, understanding that you can read through anything that you are reading to gain the spiritual knowledge and understanding. So yeah, I think that's kind of where spirituality comes down to. And with your book, I just saw under the title, it said protecting your home from spiritual warfare. So is that just because being a feminine or being a woman, we're born with more feminine traits, more hormones, therefore that's the spirituality essence, right? Like the sacral, the womb, the feminine, that is spirituality at its finest.
Dude.
Yes, the divine feminine is very important, and
easier to tap into, though, is the issue.
Like,
we're sensitive, so we need the masculine to like kind of bring us that grounded space.
Which is why the book that I'm reading almost makes me sick. I have to admit it.
Are you sick about
like,
it?
It's a lot of credit, a lot of
because she's hearing a lot of bullshit.
To the feminine, like,
aspect programming.
A man wrote it?
In a
Are
way
you
that
serious?
No, I don't know. It was a woman that wrote it.
Okay, that's good. I was gonna say.
It's written by Quinn Scherer and
I was gonna say queef.
Ruth
That's
Ann Garlock. So it's a man and a woman.
no, Belle. That's
It is.
fire.
It is this. It is this idea. Like now, look, listen. The reason I'm still making myself read is because there are things that I can see here that I have been upset with for a
And I
long
don't
time.
think we need to stop reading because reading gives you a lot
Well,
of
because
insight.
it does. It
Even
really
if it's shit
does.
that you're
And
against,
look, why
it
am
gives
I
you
against
insight
this
on the
right
people
now?
that you're against.
What is it they're saying right now that really makes me feel that angst, like that I gotta, you know what I mean? What is it
No.
exactly you're opposing? Because it's not Christianity as a whole.
It's more like
It
the
is.
anger behind. I would say that's like the ego mind when
Well,
we're
see, and
like,
that's
because
just
really
it.
when it
When
comes
you
down
tell
to
me
it,
that Jesus is my only savior,
There are
the
no saviors.
only way I can come to salvation is through Jesus.
no,
Now you've co-opted my salvation.
that's a
why
hard
can't I
thing
believe
too,
that?
and I think that's where the anger comes in, or the ego comes in, depending on our backgrounds. And this can go deep, deep, deep. But when you're from
Yes.
Utah, especially, or I'm sure a heavily Baptist state, you
Right.
have
Right.
anybody with any kind of power or any kind of fear they can stab someone with, especially when it comes to the figure of Jesus isn't going to forgive you. That's why I like
Yep.
the Muslim culture, because aside from,
Oh,
basically,
Muslim is new.
basically,
But
what I like about it is that when you make mistakes, it's not about being forgiven. It's about forgiving. And I could be speaking wrong about Muslim culture,
Exactly.
but basically setting aside the fact that, like, you're going to pay your karmic dues. Yes. You're going to reap what you sow. Yes. But you are not any less of a person because you made a mistake. There are lines
Right.
that cannot be crossed. Now, if you take away someone else's sovereignty, like by the R word, or like killing someone, or taking anybody else's
What's
free
the R word,
will,
Michelle? What's the R word? What are you talking about?
it rhymes with
Hi,
escape.
we're on Facebook and we're on YouTube.
Retarded?
She's trying to be.
No, it's only 4
Right.
letters.
Just
It's
say it.
aggressive. No,
Just
I'm
say
not
it.
going to say that word. I don't like saying
Say
that
it on here. We can
word. It
say it.
rhymes with cape, but with an R. I'm not going to
Rape.
say that word. Dad,
Rape is
just come on,
terrible.
you little miser.
It's terrible. It's
Because
terrible.
you're
But
taking
you know
away
what?
someone's free will. Is that forgiven? No. But guess what?
You're
You're
right.
teaching the other person how to, I guess, eventually heal themselves. It takes a long
Well,
time.
see, and that's just it. When you look
See,
at
when you
these
said the word rape,
religions,
look at we like had 3 extra viewers. That's weird.
Okay,
But anyway, rape is a different, like, it's not just physical.
yeah, you can
Right.
mentally, you can
Yes.
R word someone, like if someone, okay, earlier.
Just say the word. It's okay.
I don't want to, and I'm not going
Just
to,
say it.
Dad,
Say it
because
and liberate it.
that's against my
Liberate it, Miguel.
values.
Liberate
I'm
that
not
word.
liberating and putting that into the universe. I don't want to
Yeah,
manifest
you
that for
should.
anybody,
Okay, well,
or
you're
put that
still
seed
afraid
in anybody's mind.
because
You know
it's
what I
just a
mean?
word.
well, because you're not fully
But there's
fulfilling yourself
beliefs
yet.
behind the word. There's beliefs
Yes,
behind the word, and there's
exactly.
experiences others
Well,
like, it's not a funny word. It's not. It's
no,
not a.
it is
Yes,
not.
you can take the
No,
power
but
from
make
it.
it funny so
So
it's
for the
Nothing you're
powerful.
thinking
viewers,
about.
for the
However,
viewers, guys, the viewers, they don't they it's not that they don't understand, but there's a different meaning behind that word for everyone. We
Right.
have to be
yes,
conscious of using words like that, because
every ear
it's
that
not
hears
nice
our
But is
to
rape
podcast
is
hears
rape
something
worse?
different.
Is rape worse? That word is it worse than necrophilia?
What's that? Is that animal stuff, or?
That's having sex with dead people.
Well, do you mean dead, like emotionally dead, or?
I mean, like
No,
dead,
Okay.
like
done.
corpse, like having
Dead.
sex with a corpse.
That
I feel
person
like
has
at
now
that
left the
point,
body.
whoever's doing it, like, it's just extreme disrespect to that person's vessel.
But what word would you say is worse, rape or necrophilia?
Well, I didn't know the definition of necrophilia technically, so I wasn't offended by that.
Well, now you know. Now you know.
Well, that's it. Thanks for bringing that up and planting that in my mind. I literally imagined that, and I'm grossed out by that. I don't
All right, so
understand.
chill out.
See,
You're
that
good.
part of the world, see, that's where I don't get it. There's going to be certain things in our life that we don't fully get because we're not there. Like, I couldn't bring myself to doing something like that, so I have no
Right.
emotion behind that
Of
word.
course,
Like, I
none of us
don't.
could.
It means
But what
nothing
I'm
to me.
saying
That's
is,
American
what I'm saying
for
is,
you.
words are words, and why are we getting so offended by words?
Because they're
Yep.
seeds. They're seeds.
They're seeds, but are they like something that's? Are you going to let that seed plant in you and go? Are you
Well,
just gonna
most
fucking
people
say
who
it's
are
just a word?
seeking,
And the
most of us who are
destruction
seeking
of America.
counsel, we're not in a space where we can deal with
Yeah,
words
but
like
you have
that.
to talk about that because if that's what really happened to you, then you should talk about it. And that's where we get fucked up because we're not able to speak that truth
So,
because
okay,
we
so
don't want
when
to
it
say
comes
that
to
word
my
because
truth,
it makes us feel bad.
this is where I feel bad is on their end of it. Because when I was younger, I remember the first career I wanted was to learn the mind of a serial killer. And I don't know why, but I was just like, aside
Because
from
it's
being a
fascinating.
surgeon,
Why would they kill people? Like you wouldn't do
how
that.
can people
How
do
can you
certain
bring
things?
yourself to that point?
Kids, see,
So
and you're censoring yourself already. You're already saying,
after
well, I can't listen to a serial
experiencing,
killer. But isn't it better to know than to not know about how a serial killer works?
well, you
And
don't
guess
really know
what?
until you are that.
No.
You might be
Yes,
able to
but
hear it
what
from an
I'm saying
outside
is
perspective.
getting inside the mind of a serial killer means you learn how a serial killer works. Means
Which
you're
can
better
bring
protected
empathy
against it.
because
It
most of the
means
time
that
these
you
people are
now
just
know yourself enough. Those pieces of yourself that could get there. Those angers, those disappointments, those bullshits. Damn, dude.
You're
To
fucking
bring
So-
yourself
slaying,
to a place.
okay. I'm gonna cut you off for a second because I only have so much time. And it might actually help me and others if anybody sees this that it helps them. I don't want to say the word, Dad. You can go ahead and use it because
just say it,
my
Miguel.
values.
Just relax. It's okay. We're just talking.
In my experience,
Say it, rape.
rapists and people who
Yeah.
molest children are like, you know, there's a ripple effect there. Okay, so those people
Right.
are probably
That's right.
suppressed. They have like
There
so I did a chakra check on my ex-rapist basically, and his sacral chakra was extremely out of balance and overactive sacral. You're going to have bowel movement issues, you're going to have toxins in your body, you're going to have toxins in your mind,
I'm the one that
Right.
put the
you're
most.
going to have a lot of the time these people they have it happen to them first. When it comes to like taking someone's free will, I don't care if you're in a relationship with them. If someone's asleep and they're unaware, that's raping someone. And it's sad because people who get raped, even in a relationship, it's a lot more justified. It still
Well,
imprints them and hurts them and degrades them. I luckily was in a better understanding, but for people who haven't gone through it before, then they go through it in a relationship. It's like easier to dismiss, but the feeling
Right.
still lingers. So what I've been doing lately, and I don't know how my experience has been crazy, isolated, but it's been naturally spirit is like puppeting me. Some moments I won't even realize how I'm feeling, and my hand will move to certain parts of my body and I'll just start breathing, like my heart or my sacral, my root. And I'm just like, whoa, I'm healing myself right now. Wow, thank you, universe. So once we let go of the ego and literally die, I'm learning that
We don't
we're
completely
reborn
let
is
go of
our
the ego.
mental
That's
The
health.
main
confidence.
reason I like jump to the whole like, and it's being used against us right now, but the whole like avatar self.
The what?
Playing your games. Be
Avatar
yourself
self.
within your
Okay,
self.
the metaverse. Okay, tell me more about that because I swear sometimes I'm like, are
No,
you a
the
ghost or
metaverse
are
is
you an
bullshit. That's
It
not
is
invisible
very
natural.
fucking
confusing. It's
Bitcoin?
unnatural. It's not good.
Yeah, it's
But you
stupid.
can
Creepy.
see where you can find yourself in that place and like feel like you're in
We have no
control when
privacy.
you're not.
We have no
Right?
privacy anymore.
It's a
Literally
false
not
Well,
even
maybe
in our
we'll
own
talk
homes.
about that on the next love stream. But tonight, I think we need to wrap it up.
Okay, wait. Let me say something
Go
on
ahead,
Twin
wrap it up.
Flames.
Like, wrap it up.
So Twin Flames, it's like because we have the online world now. You know, I've been in love with Zac Efron. I've seen High School Musical. Okay, I know what it's like to have a celebrity crush, but I also know what it's like to meet someone or to see someone and to have that like instant knowing, and then literally, I don't know if that other people could be doing spells too, but there's also when I remove the spells that could have been done, there's still that like it feels like a virus. I'm like, get out of my soul, get out of my head. That's where I think the twin flame comes in, because it's like you just, whether you end up together or not, they've imprinted your soul. You change, your life changed once you met them, and that's how it works. And honestly, one day maybe you guys should tell your love story, because a lot of people like to learn about people like
Maybe we
you
will.
and I, because
We will.
we've ridden the bus. Do you know how many people haven't rode the bus?
A lot of people.
Blows my mind. I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you know how many times I've had to scrape change to get on that bus? Like, I was grateful to be on it when I got a free pass. Like, it's not that bad. It's annoying.
Well, maybe
but
we'll
it's-
talk about that next time. Maybe we'll talk about that in the future. But thank you, Miguel. Thank you for coming
Future.
on.
I
We're
love
gonna end it
you.
now, but
Hey,
if you
everybody
guys,
else,
and I want to thank
the live
Michelle
stream
DeSantis for leaving us a $10 tip.
Yeah,
She
thank you,
came on,
Michelle.
and I
Go
want to
ahead,
let you
send
all
me
know
two over,
that
Dad. Just kidding.
you find if you want a reading and a love reading, go to www.psychicshaman333.com.
Or
And if you just want like to talk and you want to like send $10 or whatever, send a contribution just for for
If you're
what
looking
we're
for
giving
both of
out.
us,
It's value for value. So
it really
if
is.
you're willing, if you want to give something, even if it's $1.50, go
It
to
doesn't matter.
Linktree, linktr.ee/psychicshaman333.com. Wait, not .com, just 333. So linktr.ee psychicshaman333. If you want to leave a donation, we appreciate it, and that's going to keep us going.
That's right.
But you don't have to. Like,
You're
I'm
really
glad all of you are here, and all of you came on the show.
grateful for every one of
We're
you.
grateful for every one of you. We're going to go eat dinner. But for
Listeners,
tonight,
talkers,
we've been on for an hour and 35 minutes. Love you all. Thank you for being here.
That's
Thank you for
right.
sticking around. We'll
you
be
so
back
much.
maybe sooner than later. Have a great weekend, and we love you.
Mwah. Love you all.